Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. This is the one wheel. It's pretty sweet, guys. And I am out here in Utah. Hi guys, I see you in there. Sunset and kids are playing this cool playground here. What a neat bridge, huh? This would be the kind of place that I would do a portrait session or something like that. It's really cool, right? Check this out. Just kind of out here enjoying the evening. A little bit of rain right now, and I'm thinking, man, it's pretty out here. There's a rainbow back there. I don't know if you guys can see it. There it is right there. See that rainbow? Little God's promise back there. But you know what? I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe in America. I don't feel like my children are safe. But it's not because of you know, immigrants or Muslims or any of that rot. It's because of the syndicate. It's because of cronyism. It's because of politicians saying that they're for us, right? But in fact, they're for the system. They're for their own power. They're for their own gain. It's politicians telling us, oh, we're working behind the scenes, right? We got people that for years have been saying there are liberty legislators, there are leaders, but now they're like, oh, I'm being quiet, I'm working behind the scenes. Guys, spies work behind the scenes. Representatives speak out for you, or they are not representatives. End of story. Okay, so here, let me see if I can sit on this on my wheel here. All right, so what I'm saying here, I actually wanted to ask you guys a question. Have you ever been arrested? And yes, I do see the comments popping up on here on the live stream, so thanks guys, I see you in there. Yeah, it's really pretty out here. That's why I thought I'd go live. You know, as an image maker, it drives me crazy sometimes how poor the live stream quality is, and it's always nice to have nice light. I wish I had brought a proper camera. I'd do a portrait session with my kids or something. But if you guys want to see my photography stuff and what I do for a day job, and just go to my website, seimstudios.com, and maybe you'll determine that I actually do have a job, right? But have you ever been arrested, right? And if so, how recently? It's interesting. It always amazes me when I talk to people who have been arrested and they still support the system. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Were you arrested a long time ago? I think a lot of it is we're conditioned. I'm just going to ride a little while I talk. We're conditioned to believe we're bad every time we're arrested, right? It's our fault. We should have obeyed the law. That's what our politicians, that's what our judges say, right? We should have obeyed the law. Well, what exactly? There's birds back there. What is the law? And that's right. Most people are arrested almost every time based on lies, all right? Police reports are lies. That's what a police report does for a living, is it lies. It tells you that you're the bad guy and they're the good guy for abusing you. People say, well, you got to follow the law. Well, what is the law? The law is life, liberty, and property. The law is to defend that. So people say, well, I respect law enforcement. And I'm like, what law enforcement? Show me one law enforcement. To have law enforcement, it would mean someone with their badge going out and defending people's rights. Okay? Excuse me, someone defending your life, your liberty, and your property. But they're not doing that. Not one officer will do that. You know, you look at Sam Garad serving 7 years in prison for making chickweed herbal salve, right? No crime committed, but the feds didn't like him because he was treading into the territory of their fake medicine in Big Pharma. You've got the Bundys in prison. You've got Red Fawn from the Native American DAPL movement up there, you know, charged with fake crimes from the police. And so what they do to you is what you're charged with. And I've just been thinking, man, this place, America, it's like a third world nation. And you have these traitors, these traitor supporters. You have these loyalists saying they support cops, and they're the enemy of America. They're the enemy of your children's freedom. You cannot support those who are universally violating people's rights. Not one cop will defend the law in their oath, all right? Not one. So who are the criminals? Well, they are. Who is the law enforcement? We are. is more than they are, right? It's our job to speak out. It's our job to disobey. It's our job to defy. If you've never been arrested, it's hard to grasp the gravity of how truly evil this place has become. But the police are the enemy of freedom. Those supporting the police and your politicians and those pretending, oh, I'm with the law enforcement, I stand with our first responders. And then you got people that are veterans, right? You got people saying, well, I'm a veteran, you got to give me respect, you got to honor me. Now, don't get me wrong, I know people that have served in the military that get it now, and they know that it's broken. Right? You got people that stood up with Ammon, people at the refuge, people at DAPL. But when I see that veteran, so-called, and they're coming out and they're saying, well, you should shut up, I protected your freedom. No. If the veterans had protected our freedom, we would have freedom. We don't have freedom. We absolutely have a police state. We're not getting there. We're not almost there. We're not losing our rights. We're not losing our gun rights. They are lost. We have no rights in America when push comes to shove. Now, human rights, we still have our rights. But if you try and exercise those and are arrested, no judge, no police officer is really going to defend your rights. You're going to be drugged through the system. And so here's the crux of this. Each time we win a case, right, people say, oh, I'm going to sue them, or I'm going to do this, or I got acquitted, right? And we say that's a victory. Think about like the Bundys, okay? Or anybody else. You know, think of the Jeff Winehouses, the Schaefer Coxes, the Leonard Peltiers, in prison now for 30 years. Even if you get out, they've taken everything from you. Guys, victory for justice is justice being served. It's the criminals being stopped. It's the terrorist judges and the blue line badged gangbangers being removed from their positions of authority. It's them being given the due process. It's not vengeance from our part on them. It's them being given the due process that they denied to us. So every time we have, let's call it a half victory or a micro victory, right? Somebody gets out of jail, okay? Well, I'm glad they got out of jail, so it feels like a victory to us, but they've got us to the point, think about this, they've got us to the point where they do whatever they want. They kill who they want. They imprison who they want. They charge who they want. And they know there will be zero accountability for them. And so we think we have victory if we just don't go to prison. We think we have victory if we get out. We think that it's a huge victory if the government has to pay restitution to somebody out of the money they're stealing from the taxpayers, right? But we're not winning. So I'm glad when somebody gets out of jail, but you know, look at this nurse case in Salt Lake, right, with the thugs of the Salt Lake City Police. You didn't hear about this till a month after it happened, guys. The governor, the mayor, the police chief, none of them cared. That abuse is par for the course. That's normal. That's how they work. That's normal stuff. They only cared when it became a scandal. They only cared when the world was outraged. And as long as you have people like that, you don't have law. You haven't won and you won't have justice. And so look around. America's not free. If we want freedom, we have to resist. We have to defy. We have to disobey. We have to stand up for our neighbors, not just for the people of our faction, not just for the people we like, but for the people we don't like, for the speech we don't like. There's a promise in liberty. There's hope in liberty, but you have to stand up for it, guys. Just thought I'd share a few thoughts on that today. Don't let people get you distracted by party and faction. Speak out, love your neighbors, stand up. I see you guys in there, and yeah, that's a great background, isn't it? What a day, beautiful. You guys speak out, spread the word. Make the truth more prolific than dumbed down entertainment. That's all of our job, all right? I'm gonna go for now. I might go over to my Facebook page and live stream because it's so pretty out here. So facebook.com/callmegav. Run over there and let's talk over there. Do a little crosstalk here. You guys have a good evening. Speak up, stand out, love your neighbor as yourself.